missing their two best players.
Yeah, that's going to be a big, big thing for the Redbirds. They have a lot of offensive production to replace and fill in with guys like Johnny Kinzinger and Chase Walker being out today, Andrew.
And Illinois wins the tip. And the treasured freshman that Brad Underwood keeps raving about, Keaton Wagler, with the ball. Mirkovic, one of the Balkans, inside to Zvonimir Ivasic.
What a pass right there from Kylan Boswell. Wow, that was a smooth assist right there.
Another one of the freshmen, this time for Illinois State. Tyreek Coleman gets it over to Scunberg. Ty Pence actually playing with the hand on his left cast. A cast on his left hand, excuse me. That ball staying with Illinois State, but Cooper, we saw him in warm-ups, Pence going through everything with that cast on. It's kind of amazing that he's able to do that.
Yeah, I seriously cannot believe that he's even able to suit up right now. The referees had to come over, check it pregame. He went through every drill, and it seems like he's good to go.
Well, when you're missing the guys that the Redbirds are missing, it's going to be hard. Coleman at point with Boswell trying his best to clamp him up. Makeshift zone starting out for Illinois. Lieb, and it's going to be a shot clock violation. Good defense there as Brandon Lieb, the Illinois transfer, turns it over.
I think that's going to be a big key, something that Coach Brad Underwood was harping on, making sure that his guys keep that same defensive presence that they've been working so hard to create this offseason.
Ivasic gives it over to Wagler. Wagler inside to David Mirkovic, charges in and gets fouled. He's going to shoot two.
It's a good take right there from David. It's a nice feed right there by Wagler, too. The true freshman out here seemingly running the point for this Illini offense. Not sure if we totally expected that.
A couple of freshmen for the Illini. Mirkovic for Montenegro, a freshman at 6'9", 255. They said he came in at 270, but Coach Fletch, the strength coach, got him down, and he'll shoot his first free throws in an Illinois uniform. He buries the first. Yeah,
and that's something you touch on, Coach Fletch. That's something that he is known nationwide for, being one of the best strength coaches in the entire country, clearly making an impact felt right there.
Kylan Boswell and Ben Hummerkaus, the two returners on the court, as that one rattles out and is secured by Lieb, who gives it to Coleman, running the point guard, just a freshman, but he's from Illinois in state. It's got to feel good to be back in your home state playing on this big of a stage as he hits the deck. Zvonimir Ivasic with the steal. He's going to put the brakes on and give it over to his point guard. Instead, bounce pass inside. Mirkovic playing a little bit of that booty ball. Stoppage in play. And already that defense that Brad Underwood talked to us this morning about how he wants to see them play, it's going to be a little bit different. They gave the responsibility on over to Cameron Crocker, his first year with the squad. And so far, it's paying off dividends.
Yeah, it definitely has. And one thing I want to note, too, Big Z right there had the opportunity to try and run and keep things going, but he was able to slow down the offense and make sure that he found the open guy and not turn the ball over.
Looks like right now it's a clock problem. They're trying to figure out what the shot clock's doing. So Boswell's going to be the trigger man. For Illinois State, Jack Doherty, Tyreek Coleman, Brandon Lee, Bowden Scunberg, and Ty Pence are the starting five. They go inside to Mirkovic. Mirkovic, what a move, gets it off the glass, misses, but the rebound and foul, Boswell.
And that's one of the best things about Boswell's game and what he brings to the squad. He's not afraid to get down and dirty and go in fighting for those offensive rebounds.
Boswell, 6'2", 205, plays like a linebacker almost. And they're happy that he decided to come back. The hometown kid went to Arizona for 2 seasons, transferred here to Illinois, and really came on hot at the end of the season, especially in the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, he really did. It seemed like he was playing his best basketball in the postseason, something that really helped the Illini. Obviously ended up securing that one tournament victory as well.
Boswell converts the and one, and already a press being put on. They're putting pressure on these Redbirds early. Inbound to Lieb, who gives it right on back, and Coleman going to bring it up the court with Boswell all over him. Good pass to Scunberg, who thought about the shot. Coleman from distance. Rattles off the top, and it's secured by Mirkovic. He's going to take it himself. Boswell, good move to get Coleman on his feet. So far, you talked about that smart shot selection. Nothing too bad from the Illini.
No, they've been playing really good team basketball, making sure that they don't get too rushed or hurried. Right now, it looks like they're trying to find an open man and not force.
Wagler dribbling in. Takes an extra step, gets it rejected, puts it back up. Good defense there. Gets it back. It's a fight on the ground. Skunberg ends up with it, but Jack Doherty showing his defensive prowess for the Redbirds. Skunberg inside move. He gets met by Ivicic. Lee puts up a layup. He gets his first 2 points, and the Redbirds are on the board.
I mentioned earlier how it's going to be very important for Illinois State to stand tall in the paint. Good job right there from Lieb.
Mirkovic off the back iron, but an offensive rebound from Hummerkraus. Big Z puts it up. It's good.
And he can definitely shoot it. Two of his best aspects of his game are three-point shooting and blocking shots. Big, big addition from the Illini in the transfer portal.
9-2 Illinois advantage. Doherty with the ball. Back to Skunberg. He's been a big part of this offense. He missed last of season with an injury, but they're really excited to get him involved this season, Coach Ryan Peden said. Skunberg, risky shot off the front iron, and it's corralled by Mirkovic. He wants to go fast. Back over to Big Z. He's feeling himself, but couldn't get the second three of the day to go.
I think one thing that's jumping out to me so far is Mirkovic's pure athleticism and speed. At 6'9", 255, he's still willing to run the floor.
Wagler with the steal. Ahead to Boswell. He's going to pull it out and give it right back to Wagler. Boswell slicing and dicing. Rejected by Lieb.
Good defense right there by Lieb, the 7-footer known for being a blocked shot king.
Coleman engineering the offense, gives it back to Skunberg, who's going in off to the freshman. Out to Pence, who's playing with just one hand. That's all he needs, and it's going to be a foul on Ivicic.
Yeah, it looked like Ivicic gave him a little bit of a shot there right as Pence was going up for the layup. I still can't believe, Andrew, that he's out there playing with the Cavs outlets to be the MVC champions and earn a spot in that NCAA tournament. We talked about this a little bit with Coach Peden, but he actually spent some time here in Illinois with John Gross's staff.
So a bit of a homecoming, even though a different staff is. Pence makes both of his free throws. Jake Davis on the court for the first time, a fan favorite. Everyone loves to see a corner three from Jake Davis. Brandon Lee making his Illinois debut as well. The freshman, good pass to Mirkovic, who thought about it, gives it over to Davis. And a little bit of a miscommunication as the Redbirds have some energy on defense as Landon Moore checks in along with Nick Allen.
Yeah, they do, and it looked like the Redbirds were really swarming the ball right there on that last possession, and kind of looked like it got David Mirkovic a little bit flustered.
Landon Moore is going to run the point, gives it back over to Pence, who's played every minute. Fadeaway jumper is good with one hand.
And he's raising that casted hand up to the sky, showing everybody it doesn't matter.
And another good play. Skunberg forces the ball out of Boswell's hand, and a couple Illinois turnovers are turning into Redbird points.
Yeah, and that's going to be something that is really going to help the Redbirds get going. When you're going up against a team that, you know, might have you beat on size and physicality, it's important to get in and win that turnover battle.
Pence has been the trigger man for most of this first half, as Skunberg's also been a key part of the offense. Doherty puts up a three. It's good. Here come the Redbirds, tied ball game.
And expect to see a lot of that from Jack Doherty. The number one thing that stood out to me about this Redbirds team is how much of a flamethrower he is from behind the three-point line.
Boswell drives in and lays in. Illinois back up by 2.
That's a nice finish right there by Boswell. Saw an open lane and immediately took it.
And with the Redbirds starting to score points, Zvonimir Ivicic heads back into the scorer's table. Boswell thought it was all ball, but gets called for the foul.
A little more here on Doherty, who is the one who got fouled right there. He played in 33 games last season, made 71 shots. 59 of those 71 shots were three-pointers, so he is definitely a threat from behind the line.
And whenever you shoot 48% from three, coaches are going to let you fire at will. Boswell's going to get his first break of the day as Wagler comes back. Landon Wolf going to make his first appearance, the redshirt senior from Cedar Falls, Iowa. As Skunberg's going to get a breather. Both coaches said yes, this game, they want players to go all out, but it's not always about winning. They want to see some different looks.
Yeah, and Coach Underwood especially stressed that his guys have been going up against one another since June, so it's going to be great for them to get an opportunity to face some new opponents.
Illinois back in zone. Davis stood up. Doherty another three. Clinks off the back iron. Hummerkaus pulls it in and goes to Big Z, who's going to bring it up the court. Quick reach-in foul on Brandon Lee. Family of basketball players. His dad, Butch Lee, 1978 Naismith Player of the Year. He actually led Marquette to the national championship in '77 and then eventually was a first-round pick. So when your dad's done it all, you kind of feel like you have to too.
Yeah, definitely have a built-in mentor, that's for sure. And Lee looks to make a pretty big impact on this Illinois team.
Davis got rejected out to Hummerkaus, who couldn't get the three ball to rattle in. Good work there and effort by Pence to keep the ball alive as Moore's going to bring it up the court. Moore's got the mismatch on Ivisic. His big brother, Tommy, the twins, he's out for today after he got his tonsils removed. That's going to be a travel on Moore, and it's headed Illinois' way.
Yeah, that was a great defensive possession right there from Big Z. He was able to stay matched up with a smaller guard when he's standing at 7'2", so that was very impressive that he was able to shuffle his feet and not get called for any fouls.
Wagler, known for his amazing ball handling skills, the #1 player in Kansas. Zvonimir, it's good.
It's early on, but Zvonimir has really looked good so far to start this one, both on defense and shooting the ball very well.
Spent time at Kentucky and Arkansas with Coach John Calipari and then makes the move to be with his twin brother in Champaign for his 3rd season of college basketball. Hummerkaus harassing Doherty. They're not going to try to let him get a shot off. Pass over to Pence, who thought about the three. Looking to drive in another fadeaway. That's short, and Big Z's going to get the rebound.
It's 2 straight good defensive possessions from Illinois. Let's see if they can turn it around on the offensive end.
Hummerkaus put the shot up, but it's going to be a foul. He's put on a lot of muscle. I'm not going to say weight because he's at the same weight, Coach Underwood said, but he's turned kind of that soft fat into big boy muscle.
Yeah, he has, and Coach Underwood said that Hummerkaus has had the biggest offseason out of anyone. He's one of the hardest workers on this team and is going to have an even bigger role this season than he did last year in his 2nd year up in this Big Ten level.
He was granted a 6th year of eligibility, spent 3 seasons at the NAIA level, and then 1 at Evansville before coming to Illinois. And last season might not have been what people were expecting, but he's taken a huge step this year. Coach Underwood is really excited about what he's going to bring as he makes the first free throw.
Yeah, and he said that not only is he going to have a big role, he's going to be playing multiple positions for this team. And he's a rather large guy, so that could come in clutch for maybe some small ball lineups where he has to go out there and maybe run the 5.
Lieb checks back in, and Mason Clabo is going to make his first appearance, a freshman. This kid's good. He was Mr. Basketball in North Dakota. Illinois State, since 1992, they've only ever had 2 Mr. Basketballs, and they're both on the roster now in Clabo and Kinzinger. Clabo is the state's all-time leading scorer. So that guy, he's a playmaker, but he's a scorer at will. And he has a chance to crack this lineup, Coach said.
Yeah, Coach Beaton said that both these guys in Clabo, and Coleman are both going to have chances to carve out serious rotational minutes, which is big for a team that's looking to compete in the MVC and make it to the NCAA tournament.
And they will get a little help when they're able to get Chase Walker and Johnny Kinzinger. Walker, most publications have him as the preseason player of the year in the Missouri Valley Conference. The transformation he's done to his body has been amazing. But he was seen in a boot before the game, so no timetable on his return. Could be day-to-day, we were told. But they're gonna need him when the season starts as Davis takes it away. Pass ahead to Boswell, takes it himself, misses the lay-in. But Davis taps it back out, and Boswell was on the line. So the extra effort ends up not working out in the long run, Cooper.
No, it did not, but still love to see that. Love to see these Illini players hustle and go after loose balls like that. No matter if it's an exhibition game or not, this is a team that's gonna fight on every single possession.
Moore, the transfer from Butler from Bloomington. He was actually recruited the first time he transferred, but took a second time to get him to come to Bloomington Normal. Back out to Clabo. His first time with the ball. Yeah, he took an extra step there, freshman mistake.
Yeah, and that's something that you're going to have to get paying dividends for him so far in his career.
And to make matters even worse, in percentage of possessions used in the 2024 season, he was 16th in the country. That's out of everybody over 4,000 players, so they used him a lot. But I think this could be good for the team, trying to find other options when those two might have an off day.
Yeah,
Wagler starts with the ball, Cooper.
I think especially with having young players like freshmen out here, this kind of gives them a bit of a jump start to expedite that process and acclimating to D1 level.
Zvonimir Ivasic couldn't get the three to go, and it's going to be a long rebound taken in by Skunberg. Inside to Landon Wolf. Wagler got a hand in there, but Illinois State retains possession. Dishes to Coleman, and he's going to pull it out. Skunberg moving around, good ball movement here as they're swinging it around the horn. Coleman drives in, kick out, free ball. Rattles out, Mirkovic with his rebound.
It was a nice pass right there by the Redbirds. Obviously not able to convert, but still good ball movement there.
And Mirkovic turns it into three on the other side. That 6'9", 255-pound freshman, not really playing like a freshman right now.
Definitely not. He has looked very impressive. And one thing to note about these Illini big men, all of them can shoot, so that provides some serious matchup nightmares for opponents.
Gone is the day of Kofi Coburn, where you could have a guy just stand in the paint and be a menace there. Now you got to have a three ball, just the way basketball goes. Lieb dishes to Skunberg, thinking about driving in, instead pulls up for a two and gets it to go.
Coach Peden referred to Skunberg as a bit of a Swiss Army knife. He can do everything out there on the floor. He was expected to be one of the Redbirds' top scorers last season, wasn't able to play, so I think he's going to have a big impact this year.
Hummerkaus lays it up. He's playing a little bit of booty ball and showing off his new muscles.
Definitely a grown man take right there, Andrew.
In the last 5 minutes, it's a 12-2 Illinois run. The only points were that jumper the Redbirds just hit, as we're under halfway to go here in Champaign in the first half. Claybo, three ball, won't go. Rebound pulled in by Wagler, and he's going to push it over to Hummerkaus. Inside to Mirkovic, who's going to get a foul call. He had that size advantage. They're really using him down in the paint, but he's also a perimeter player too.
Yeah, he has had a really good start to this game, and he can score at every level out there. I think that's something that the Illini are going to lean on throughout the entire season. We're getting a new big man checking in here for the Illini. Jason Jacktis comes into the game for the first time.
Yeah, Jacktis, a redshirt freshman. There was conversation last year that they might have burned his freshman year if the injuries and illness that the Illini dealt with were going to keep up. They decided to keep him as a red shirt, so he turns into a redshirt freshman. He's another one, though, that's had a bit of a body transformation. He's up to 210 now at 6'10", getting his first minutes at State Farm Center.
Yeah, and I know these minutes are certainly pretty impactful for him. His dad is from Champaign. He grew up an Illini fan, so I'm sure it's a cool moment to be out here on the court.
Hummerkaus misses the lay-in. From distance, three won't go. Mirkovic gets his fifth board of the day. Crosses over on the shifty Coleman. Oh, what a move! Inside pass gets hacked, and you could tell David wanted it. A big fella's not supposed to move that fast.
No, he certainly is not, but he really seems like he can do it all. He really wanted that assist to be converted, though. It seemed like he got a little frustrated that the Redbirds were able to poke it away. That crossover was nifty.
Little behind the back, dish it off to Jackstis, but good work there by Landon Wolf to get a foul. Mirkovic is feeling himself, goes up, can't get the basket, but he's going to shoot two.
The Illini are really, it seems like they're playing through Mirkovic right now. He's getting a lot of action offensively. When you have a bit of a mismatch right there, definitely good to try and attack the rim, and even if you can't convert, getting the opponent in foul trouble is still just as important.
He played 50 career games in the ABA for SC Derby. It's also where the Ivasic has played as well. Averaged 8.6 points in his career. But the best fact about him, he's the one guy that Brad Underwood would not want to get in a fight with, and that tells you quite a bit.
He looks like you wouldn't want to get in a fight with him. I mean, I definitely would not. I think another thing that Underwood was stressing is that he talks a ton.
Hummerkaus able to get the offensive rebound and lay it in.
Excuse me, Underwood told us that Mirkovic almost doesn't stop talking during practice, and that's something that has really made this team start to mesh a little bit more.
Kalebo's three won't go. Hummerkaus over to Boswell, makes a move to get around him. driving in. That's going to be a charge. Good work there by Scumberg to set his feet. It's going back the Redbirds' way.
Yeah, that was a really good play by Scunberg. A bit of a veteran play. Obviously, he's a grad student now, so being able to make his presence felt on both sides of the floor here so far.
And Scumberg came in after 4 seasons at North Dakota State last season. He was expected to be a top 2 or 3 scorer on this team, according to head coach Peden. Instead, he missed all of last year, but they're excited to get him back in the rotation this year. So although he is a returner, there's still some chemistry they need to figure out.
I think that's one of the biggest things that he was stressing is that while it looks like they have everybody back, still having these impactful freshmen and new faces come in, it's going to take a little bit of time for them to adjust.
He's the man with the ball right now. It clangs off the front iron, and Jake Davis going to pull it up the court. Boswell uses the screen from Jackstis. Looking for some help, it goes to Brandon Lee, the 7th highest scorer in the state of New Jersey last year. As there's a whistle and a foul.
Offensive foul, number 1, Brandon Lee, his second.
So that's 2 straight possessions where the Redbirds were able to draw charges. I'm sure Coach Peden is very, very happy about that.
And on the other side, you can hear Coach Underwood yelling, you got to kick that ball out. A couple guys open in the corners. Little selfish play here as Coleman drives it in. He's fast, but can't get anything to go. Mirkovic bounce pass ahead to Lee, trying to make up for it. And it gets blocked, and it's going to be a foul called on Doherty.
Wow, a little bit of a second effort there.
They're integrating very well. Now Illinois State's got to try to do that same thing. Coleman has shown flashes. It just hasn't come through in the stat sheet yet.
Yeah, and I think it's hard for a Redbird player to get tossed into this game where, you know, a lot of their veteran leaders aren't out there on the floor with them. Those guys that are coaching them up during practice that have been helping them out all summer. So I think as soon as those guys come back for the Redbirds, things are just going to be streamlined and feel a lot easier in terms of connectivity.
Lee makes both. Talking about freshmen, we're going to bring another one in for Illinois. It's Blake Fagbemi, the freshman from Naperville, Illinois. He actually won the state title here on this court, so he's been here and done that. He's on the shorter side, but him and Coleman, it's going to be an interesting matchup to see these two go at it. Coleman uses the screen. Davis switches off on him as it's kicked on over to Claybo. Scunberg waited on it, pulls up. The bank is open.
It's a nice shot there from Scunberg. Obviously gets a little bit of help there from the backboard. You mentioned a little bit about Fagbemi. You said he is on the smaller side, but he's definitely a player that plays with a lot of heart.
Davis' pass goes a little bit wide of Fagbemi. He's driving in. You talk about heart. He showed it right there. Wagler looking to get some space in. Creates himself off the front iron. And a good rebound by Coleman. One thing that stood out to me in warmups, that kid can get up there.
Yeah, he certainly can. He has some serious hops, and it's only a matter of time before we see it really come into play here on offense and on the defensive end as well. A little bit about Keaton Wagler. I mean, Brad Underwood told us before the game that he is starting as a freshman, but this is something that he earned. It's not just because there's some players missing for Illinois.
And one of the biggest key pieces, Andrei Stojakovic, believed to be in that starting lineup, that star transfer we touched on in the open from Cal and Stanford. As Doherty puts up a 3, it's good. Here come the Redbirds. But Mihajlo Petrovic, he's believed to be that point guard, another guy. He's from Serbia, and he's dealing with hamstring and an ankle injury, but also an eligibility issue. They're waiting to see when he'll get approved to play. So if this was a regular season game, he wouldn't be ready to go. Tomislav Ivicic dealt with the same problem last year as Mirkovic lays it in, so they're going to have to figure that out. But once those guys get inserted into that lineup, similar to Illinois State, they'll be in their full jive.
Yeah, they definitely will be. And you touched on Petrovic a little bit there. He kind of seems like a guy that might take on some of those point guard responsibilities and really be the conductor of this offense.
Redbirds looking to just get some points on the board. They're down 11, and Coleman throws it away. Jack Doherty wasn't expecting it.
And I like the thought there from Coleman. I think that the Redbirds are really going to have to play through Jack Doherty. He's someone that obviously can shoot the lights out, and when he gets open shots, it's just free opportunities for the Redbirds to tack some points onto the board.
Kylan Boswell back in the game. Zvonimir Ivicic checks in, so Mirkovic gets a little bit of a rest. Zvonimir already has 8 points in the game. He hits the deck as Wagler drives in off the backboard, and 2 points on the board for the freshman.
Tough finish right there from Wagler. Is not intimidated by going up against a little bit of pressure. Was able to switch to his offhand and convert there. Really nice layup.
One of the O'Kelly keys of the game was smart shots as Doherty puts up one of his own, but couldn't get it to go. Illinois is being very efficient right now. They've made 5 of their last 7, looking to make 6 of their last 8, but a foul's called.
Yeah, and they have been really disciplined. This is a team that, especially last season, played with a lot of energy. It was a high-octane team that, you know, dominated in transition. I think if they're able to reel things in and stay disciplined with their shot selection, that's
back-to-back. KJ went 20th as Will Riley went 21st. KJ 13 all Big Ten. Riley was the Big Ten 6th man of the year. So they're replacing that production that took them to the second round of the NCAA tournament. But Underwood is really confident about the guys they have in the building this year.
Yeah, and you love to hear that type of confidence from your head coach if you're an Illini fan. It really seemed like this team is getting very acclimated, and they have a good relationship. He said that he recruits just as much on personality as he does on talent. All of these guys are good teammates, and they work well together.
Boswell's second free throw rattles out, and Coleman comes away with it. Illinois up 31-17 at the 5:20 mark. Good cut by Pence. Puts it up with one hand. I think he thought about slamming it down, but obviously it's going to be tough with that cast.
Yeah, but he is a guy that has some hops to him. 6 points already on the ball game. During warm-ups in a cast, he was hitting 360 dunks.
Jake Davis couldn't get the corner 3 to go as Coleman jumps out of his shoes to grab the rebound. Humrickhouse on him. Bit of a mismatch as Lead gets it. Over to Moore. Haven't seen a ton of Landon Moore yet today, but someone that they think is going to provide a lot of experience and grittiness for the Redbirds this season. Coleman drives in, bounce pass to Leave. It's going to be off the front iron and pulled in by Boswell.
A lot of off-ball movement so far for the Illini. Definitely look for that to benefit guys like Humrickhouse, Zvonimir, and Jake Davis from 3.
Z can't get the 3 to go, but it's an offensive rebound by Jake Davis, and the foul will be called. You talk about a lot of off-ball movement. That's been emphasized by their offensive coordinator. Also, Brad Underwood's son, Tyler Underwood. They had their best offensive season scoring last year. They had 83.6 points per game. That's the most in school history.
And I think a lot of that came down to that transition offense. They were a team last year that liked to get out and get things moving. I think it seems like Kylan Boswell and Keaton Wagler are both going to be guys that ignite the fast break this year and keep that offense pumping.
Davis at the free throw line. He only had 6 attempts all of last season, made half of them. Transferred from Mercer. And like I said, when he stepped on the court, he's been quite a fan favorite here. Only played in 9 minutes, but they're expecting that role to get a little bit bigger this season.
Yeah, and it might have been a bit of a surprise for Illini fans what Davis's role looked like last season. I definitely do think he's going to build up on that. And like you said, he is a 3-point weapon, so always look for him to try and get a 3-ball up. Shot 34.4% from behind the line last year.
Good enough that Underwood called him one of the best shooters in the Big Ten. He's going to sit down and get a breather as Illinois is going to keep that full press on. David Mirkovic comes back on in, and you like to think that offense is going to start running through him. But Illinois State's going to have to find some offense of their own. That's not going to do it as Mirkovic gets a steal. Ahead to Ivasic. Slams it down.
What a play by the Illini right there. Shout out to David Mirkovic, who got that all started and threw it over to Zvonimir for the slam dunk.
They're going to call a technical for hanging on the rim. You hate to see it, but with authority. And Ben Humrickhouse taking that veteran role, telling him you can't do that. But he's got 10 points, and State Farm Center standing on their feet.
You know, one thing you kind of notice here is that it doesn't seem like he's up there for too long.
Yeah, I can see the argument if there's somebody under him. It's a quick whistle.
Nonetheless, an exclamation point play for the Illini that really seemed to ignite this State Farm Center crowd.
And he misses the free throw, so you know what I have to say, ball doesn't lie. We'll take one more look at it. Of course, the safety's the #1 concern. To me, it looks like Scunberg's under him. but I understand when you sway like that, you're probably going to get that quick whistle.
Yeah, it might have been on that second little extension there to pull himself above the rim. Really, once again, Mirkovic, great play right there on defense and able to keep the eyes up court and immediately get easy points on the other end.
Lieb fired that pass to Pence, who's frustrated with himself. And you can see, I think he looked at the cast on that one. That's 9 turnovers for a team that doesn't turn the ball over all that much a season ago.
No, their offensive metrics last season were very impressive. They did not turn the ball over very much. They took smart shots. I think that's something they're still going to find a way to get done, but it might take a little bit of time with some new faces.
Boswell tried to get pretty there as the ball's knocked out of bounds. And it's going to be another Ivicic fitting in very well. He's got 10 points after that emphatic dunk as the ball's into Mirkovic, who's got 7 and 5 rebounds. He's pushing in himself, and they're going to call the foul.
One thing to note about Mirkovic and a lot of these guys that are coming from overseas, they have experience playing club basketball and in pro leagues in Europe. That's something that, you know, has enabled them to play with physicality, and they're used to going up against some tough opponents.
Yeah, Mirkovic draws the foul on Landon Wolf. That's a tough matchup to ask only the 6'5" Wolf. And 6'5" might be a little generous there. It's a big difference in height and size between those two.
Yeah, it definitely is. Mirkovic has been super impressive, not only scoring the basketball, but he's also hauled in 5 rebounds. And something that I've noted, he loves to get out and run. It seems like he's not afraid to try and ignite a fast break for the Illini.
And the only problem that he's had today is just the free throws, but he's 3 for 6 after making that last one as Illinois pushes the lead to 36-19. Lieb hands it off to Coleman, who's just going to back up. Wolf, big three-pointer, nowhere close as Mirkovic pulls in the rebound. Like you said, he wants to go fast. Over to Boswell. Bam's 3-ball is good.
Yeah, that was a perfect example of what I was just saying. Getting quick rebounds or turnovers and turning them into easy buckets like Boswell just did right there.
Back over to Pence. He's been quiet for the last 5 minutes. He gets it to Skunberg, who's looking to get it over to Lieb. Svanemir hits it out of the way. They're going to call a foul on him. Illinois currently on an 8-0 run, 13-2 in the last 3.5 minutes. As Illinois State has kind of hit a couple lulls here. They haven't scored in 2 minutes. And you've seen that several times throughout that first half.
Yeah, and if you're the Redbirds, you really have to try and go out there and eliminate long scoring runs. It's really important to not let momentum swing too far out of your possession here against a team like Illinois that thrives off of having the momentum on their side.
Lieb also missed last season with an injury, but 2 years ago for the Redbirds, he shot 71% from the line. And he misses his first as Mirkovic pulls it in. Both teams are in the bonus as Boswell is looking to go fast. Mirkovic from distance, off the front iron, it's going to go out of bounds.
Yeah, you touched a little bit about how Lieb hasn't really played in a little bit. That's something that Coach Peden was stressing to us as well. Despite being in his 6th year, he's only played 278 minutes in his career. So getting game confidence under his belt is something that even a 6th-year senior needs too.
Skunberg, deep 3. Rattles in and out, and Mirkovic going to keep it himself. The big guy wants to do it solo. Back out to Boswell, same play as before. From the top of the key, he nails it.
Really heads-up play right there from Mirkovic. Was able to field the double team crossing onto him and find the open man in Kylan Boswell.
Wolf with the floater, can't get it to go. The Redbirds just can't buy a bucket right now. They're going fast again. Boswell slices on into the lane. Back out to Mirkovic, he thought about it. Lieb's playing off him a little bit, almost daring him to shoot. Ummerkaus using the big body of David. Lee tried to get it up and gets fouled. He'll shoot 2.
Nice take right there from Brandon Lee. Only a freshman, but certainly not afraid of scoring the basketball. He averaged over 22 points per game in high school, was a 4-star recruit, so certainly a lot of high expectations for him that it seems like he's not afraid of trying to live up to.
We talk about how there's basketball in his blood. We talked about Butch Lee's dad, but his brother Matthew actually played at St. Peter's in that legendary 2022 Elite 8 run, a team that kind of caught the country's heart. So Lee has a lot of outlets he can go to, and has played a lot of minutes today, and he's one of the freshmen that Underwood talked about, like, these opportunities might not always be there if it weren't for injuries, but he stepped up and played pretty well.
Right, and that's something that Coach Underwood said is a good thing. It helps these freshmen try and get acclimated to stepping up and playing on the highest level in college.
He makes the second, so 1 for 2 at the line. And Illinois keeping that press on. Redbirds are going to have to get a bucket here if they don't want this to get too out of hand. Moore with Wagler on him. He keeps it himself. Good pass to Doherty, but he hasn't been able to get a 3 off. Lee using his body and gets the bucket to go.
It's a veteran move right there from Brandon Lieb. He used all 7 feet and 1 inch of his frame to convert that basket right there.
Wagler to Mirkovic, pump fake. Drives in himself, lays it off the glass with touch.
I've been super impressed with Mirkovic here today. Standing at 6'9", 255, was still able to use some speed and agility right there to get around Lieb for a backdoor basket.
Doherty catch and release is clean. Stops the run for now. And the problem is Illinois just hasn't been missing. They've made 4 of their last 5. Wagler driving in, kick out, Mirkovic, 3 ball. Couldn't get it to go. Davis fighting for a rebound, but it's going to stay with Illinois. I believe they're going to call that on Doherty.
You love to see Jake Davis get in there and try and make an impact on an offensive rebound like that. That's something for a guy that didn't have a huge role last season. That's a way that you're going to carve out some more minutes for yourself.
And a couple of guys on the court with 2 fouls each. We have to let it be known there's going to be no foul outs today. So both coaches can feel free to tinker with their lineups and not be scared of players having to sit on the bench for the rest of the day. Illinois only has 10 players suited up. It's the same for Illinois State as Davis makes the first.
Yeah, and that's the most important part right there of having there be no foul outs with very, very short benches compared to a normal game with all these injuries. That's something that's really going to help both Underwood and Peden.
Under a minute left here in the State Farm Center in this first half. And the lead is now 47-24. Davis picks up his 4th point of the day. Illinois State's going to go fast. Moore controls the offense. Sends it over to Scunberg. As Isaac Erickson getting his first minutes of the day, and Hummerkaus rejects it, showing off his length.
That was a great defensive effort right there from Hummerkaus. Not afraid to stay with that ball and get a hand up there, contest it, and ultimately get a block shot.
You can tell Doherty likes that 3 ball. And Illinois defensively trying their best to not let him get it off. He gets it off there, foot in the air, couldn't get it, and Boswell pulls down the rebound over Allen. 30 seconds to go.
And I wouldn't be surprised if almost every inbounds play was schemed up for Doherty to try and get an open 3.
5-second difference between the game and shot clock. Boswell's going to take his time. Scunberg's on him. He's going to call for the screen from Hummerkaus. He uses it. 5 seconds left. Step back 3. Off the front iron. Mirkovic with the rebound. He can't be stopped. Back out to Boswell. Kicks it to Wagler for 3. Illinois State's going to have to put up a shot if they want it. They won't be able to. And so far, it's been all Illinois here at the State Farm Center. 47-24. Cooper, it's been competitive for the first 10 minutes, but Illinois really started to pull away there at the end.
Yeah, he already has the MVC Tournament Championship circled on his calendar.
So much to say that, yes, this game is great, but it doesn't matter what happens on October 19th. It matters what happens on March 8th when that tournament championship is. Sends it over to Doherty. He's the guy that Cooper says needs to get going, but it's a little short and corralled by Mirkovic.
Yeah, once again, you see Mirkovic, just the willingness to try and run the floor. That's jumping out to me.
Showing a lot of maturity. Coach Underwood said that's why they trust him so early as a freshman, just 19 years old. Boswell with Coleman on his hip, lays it up. And the alley-oop to Ivisic.
Hey now, what a pass right there from Boswell. Ivisic, obviously a huge lob threat, standing at 7'2", so expect to see a lot of that this season.
And now imagine when he's got a twin brother on the court as well. That's going to be exciting to watch. 49-24, Skunberg thought about the three, pulls it through. They're going to call a foul. I think they're going to get Wagler for that. He doesn't like the call, but there was contact on the wrist.
Yeah, there definitely was. It looked like he just got a little bit too far into things defensively, wasn't able to keep his hands back and stay disciplined.
So first foul of the second half. Another reminder that they are not tracking personal fouls here, so you can stay in as long as you want. That doesn't mean you can go hack a guy every single possession, but I mean, that's what I would think about doing. But there's a reason I'm not on the court. Reverse layup rejected. Lieb with the cleanup and one.
Some great cleanup action right there from Lieb. He knows that, you know, the possession isn't over until you hear a whistle. So great job of staying in there and converting the layup on Keaton Wagler, who, to be frank, might not have had much of a chance at contesting that shot against a 7-footer.
He's going to get sent to the bench pretty early as Brandon Lee checks in. Lee, this is a bit of a homecoming. We talked about he spent 3 seasons here. His biggest task when he was here on that bench, he had to play defense against Kofi Coburn, an AP All-American. So it tells you what he had to go through as only an 18-year-old. But he's back for a 5th year with Illinois State, and they're looking for him to be a real presence in the paint this season. Like I said, how it's going to be exciting to see both twins play. It's going to be exciting to see him with Walker as Boswell gets around the defense and knives his way in for 2.
Yeah, and having Lieb and Walker both down there in the post, I would imagine is going to give the Missouri Valley Conference some nightmares. That's a dynamic duo.
Coleman, good pass to Doherty. Inside to Lieb, backing down Ivisic. Oh, good move by Lieb to get 2 in. He's starting to feel himself.
A little bit of a shimmy there from Lieb. Got Zvonimir jumping for joy right there. That was a really, really disciplined play on offense.
Lieb at 7-1. Boswell thought about the shot, takes another step, cuts it back out to Big Z. Another 3.
And Ivisic has been showing his bread and butter so here in this second half. 3-point shooting and shot blocking. 2 ways he's been making an impact early on in the second half.
Skunberg has been a focal point of the offense along with Pence. The problem is they just haven't been able to get past that second level of defenders. Skip pass to Doherty. Off balance, can't get it to go. And Mirkovic is going to push the pace himself. With Doherty on him, bodies it in. Puts it up, won't go. Lee pulls down the rebound.
I think you still like to see that shot going up from Mirkovic. It's a good look. Just wasn't quite able to get it to fall.
Skunberg inside the 3-point line, can't get his jumper to fall. And Boswell will take possession. He's going to set the table here with Skunberg on him. Drives with his left and a quick foul.
Boswell, we've harped on this. He's a veteran leader for this program. Being a Champaign native, he knows what it means to be an Illini and put on that orange and blue. Something I would imagine that he's instilling with all of these newcomers and freshmen.
He's another one that Coach Underwood said had a really productive offseason. He's just a tank. He runs so fast, and if he can get that 3-point shot down, he struggled last year, only 25% from 3. But if he can get that down, he can become a real triple threat, especially with the command he has of this offense. Mirkovic trying to continue his big day, and they're going to call that a travel every single time.
A little bit of happy feet there, and Mirkovic seems to just be smiling and laughing that one off. You touched a lot on Boswell's offensive capabilities, but his presence on defense has certainly been felt here today. He's been instrumental in kind of silencing Tyree Coleman, the talented ISU freshman.
Clabo and Erickson making early entrances, along with Nick Allen, who gets his first 2 points of the game, the freshman from Illinois. Hummerkaus has been a little quiet today, looking for an assist. Mirkovic back out to Wagler. His 3-ball, nails it!
3-point shooting for the Illini has been super impressive. As a team so far, they are shooting over 41% from 3-point land. I think that's something that Coach Underwood knows is going to be a focal point of this offense.
They shot 31% from 3 in the 2024-25 season. That was something, like you said, Cooper, they want to improve on And it's an early showing, but it's looking good as Pence does everything he can to knife into the lane and gets 2 points to his name.
I mean, not to harp on the fact that he's playing with the cast on his hand once again, Andrew, but that play would have been impressive if he had full capabilities with both hands. With one hand, he was still able to fight off a defender and get an easy look at the bucket.
Now, Redbird fans are really excited about Pence. He's versatile. He was on the all-tournament team in the CBI purple tournament that they landed in the offseason as that three's off the mark, and he ends up with the ball. Coleman, what a move, young man.
That's exactly what you want to see from a young freshman, to get a run at an easy fast break layup that, well, I guess not easy. He had to contort his body in a pretty impressive way, but still being able to get that layup to fall.
People might not be able to tell on their TV screens at home, but he is a unit. 6'9", 255. As they're going to get into Hummerkaus, who's going to back down the smaller Pence. Yeah, they're going to call a foul there. I believe it might be a hand check there on Pence. He's got to be careful when they're fighting in the lane like that.
Yeah, I think he's in a tough position here, considering the fact he's got a bit of a club on his hand there. Looked like Coach Brad Underwood was arguing for a foul there as well. Ironically,
I think it was the other hand that was there for the hand check. He's fighting again. Hummerkaus looking to get booty ball going. One of Underwood's favorite things he ran with Marcus Damask as Wagler hits the floor.
Speaking of Marcus Damask, here at the break, put on the Jumbotron at State Farm Center. One of Damask's teammates, Coleman Hawkins, is here in the house. He got a bit of an ovation from this Illini crowd. Good to see him back in the building.
We'll see that replay one more time. That Elite Eight team that took Champaign by storm. Only 2 members on the team remain from that 2022 squad. Ty Rogers and A.J. Red, who we haven't seen Red yet today, and Rogers still out with the knee injury he suffered in the offseason. They're going to call that offensive foul on Wagler. It's happened a couple times to him, but Pence puts his body on the line, and it pays off.
It's hard when you get a full head of steam going like that, like Wagler just did, to try and stop and contain yourself. Really, really impressed by this Illinois State defense. That's already their 3rd charge that they've been able to draw so far today.
The Redbirds stick with their young lineup. Coleman's 3 off the front iron. Fighting with Boswell for the ball. It's going to hop off his hands and it's staying with the Redbirds.
That is a great play right there from Coleman. Immediately has the memory of a goldfish, able to flush away the fact that he missed a 3. Made an impact by getting in on that offensive rebound and forcing a bit of a turnover there.
Yeah, he played his high school ball at Wabanzi. An under-recruited guy that brings speed, quickness, and athleticism, Coach Peden said. Claybo with 2. Can't pull it in, but good rebound there by Erickson. The freshman then puts up his own ball and gets it to fall.
Looks like Erickson has some bunnies there. He got up to get that rebound.
Listed at 6'8", 195, a guy that needs to add strength. Coach Peden said as you hear a gasp as bodies start to hit the deck, everyone looks okay, and it's going to stay with Illinois.
Over there on the Illinois sideline, it looked like immediately David Mirkovic got up in frustration. He thought his guy, Big Z there, got hurt. Made sure that that bench was in control, was Coach Underwood.
Boswell looking to do it himself. He needs some help, though. Hummerkaus finds him. Catch and shoot 3. Buries it. Big Ben.
And Hummerkaus is the guy that led last year's team in total 3-pointers, so definitely expect for him to keep launching those shots from range this year as well.
Illinois State returns to favor Nick Allen with the and one.
The basket counts. Foul number 44 is Zvonimir Ivasic. His 3rd, team's
Mirkovic and Brandon Lee are going to check in. Landon Moore checking in for the Redbirds as Hummerkaus will hit the bench. Take one more look at that. Zvonimir caught out of position, but good work there by the 6'10 freshman.
Yeah, Nick Allen isn't a guy who we've touched on too much so far, but him being here in Champaign has got to feel a little bit cool. His dad played football here at Illinois, so a bit of a homecoming for him. And Coach Peden said that he one day is going to be a great player for this Redbirds program.
Boswell hits the floor. They're going to help him up. You talked about his dad. So I went back and looked at it, tried to see what position he played. He was on the team from 91 to 94, was listed as a tight end in 1991, then moved to linebacker for 3 seasons after that. And the daunted Illinois 90s teams that were pretty good. Illinois football trying to do the same thing now in the 2020s. Is Mirkovic out to Ivisic. His three won't go. Lee fighting for it, and it's going to be pulled away by Erickson. Claybo, good move to get around him. Kicks it back out. Erickson couldn't hold on. Moore in the corner with Davis corralled and looking to harass him, but good move by Moore. Couldn't get the two to fall.
Yeah, and that's a tough take right there going up against a tall opponent.
Lee turns defense into offense, and the transition points are falling Illinois' way. Erickson, who's seen extended minutes here in the second half. Instead, Claybo pulls up from the parking lot, can't get it to fall, and Ivisic couldn't hold on to the ball, but it's staying with the Fighting Illini.
I think one thing that's jumped out to me here so far in the second half is that these young guns on both sides have really been making an impact in trying to push the pace on offense and stay involved on like defensive rebounds as well.
Boswell over to Mirkovic. They've stayed with the same guys for a majority of the game. We've seen a couple of the younger guys come in. Brandon Lee's one of them. Petrovic can't hold on, and it's stolen away by Coleman, who goes behind the back. You know, you can tell how shifty he is. He's thinking all ball now and gets it to go, and those are the flashes. That's what Coach Beaton wants to see from his young point guard.
And when you score like that, that's something that'll get you going and build your confidence up, like I mentioned.
Yeah, it's going to stay on the floor.
Looked like Coleman got a little roughed up after that layup. He's kind of hobbling and hopping now over to that Illinois State bench as the sub comes in for him.
Yeah, Landon Wolf's going to pop in. That's too bad. Coleman really starting to come on there. I think he got twisted up with Zvonimir Ivisic there in a bit of a mismatch that they've been using, that Illinois has been using, excuse me, the majority of that game, as Hummerkaus is going to check in for Jake Davis. Mirkovic is going to shoot a 1-and-1 here, his 7th free throw of the game. Can't get it to fall. That's the one area that hasn't been an A+ spot for him. Claybo looking to get the offense going. He's harassed by Boswell. Gets around him, though. Big jump stop, inside pass. Denied by Ivisic. Wolf gets it back, though. Shot clock at 5. Redbirds got to get a shot off soon. It's Claybo. That's no rim. And Petrovic holds on. Back to Hummerkaus. His three won't go, but it's going to be a foul as Lee hit the... Interesting to note, he's the only player that's played all 4 years for Coach Underwood in his 9-year tenure. But Brandon Lee's going to shoot his first 2 free throws of the second half. He's 3 for 4 on the day. Make that 4 for 5 now. Illinois State really struggling from that three-point line, only 19%. They've made 4, and 3 of those are from Doherty. Doesn't go, but Petrovic able to get the offensive rebound. Takes it himself. Nifty move to get 2 on the board.
His 13 rebound here on the day. That one coming offensively buys the Illini a little bit of an extra possession there.
And Mirkovic, not Petrovic on that one. Lee harassing Moore, gives it over to Lieb. Fade away, and a good rebound there by Lee. Boswell is gonna go tempo. Pulls it out just a bit. And even with the score pulling away, Cooper, Illinois still wants to keep up that pace and that tempo.
Yeah, these are very important, impactful reps that both these teams can really get before moving on to their official start of the season. So makes sense why they wouldn't want to take any of that for granted.
Zvonimir couldn't get that 3 in. Albeit a good shot. Smart shot selection has been a big emphasis, and I think Illinois has shown that today, that if it's not always hitting at the clip they want it to, they still are taking pretty smart shots.
And I think that's the most important thing. You're not always going to be making all your threes. You're not always going to be making all your mid-range shots, but still making sure that you stay disciplined and not force those errant shots. I think that's very important.
65-41 advantage, orange and blue. And that's going to be an offensive foul, and it's going the other way.
Offensive foul number 12, Brandon Lee.
Not sure if Brandon Lee really agreed with that call, but it seemed like he wasn't quite able to get his feet set in time before setting that pick.
A little knee stick out there, but that's one that could go either way. There's a reason we're not in the black and white stripes. Zvonimir able to hold on to it right before there. As Wagler back in the game, looking to get some offense going for the freshman. Gonna do it himself, backing down Doherty, kicks it back out. Oh, good move there by Lee. The Illinois State's defense proving strong, and they forced the miss from Boswell, and another foul is gonna be called. This one on Wolf, and he can't believe it.
Foul on the Redbirds number 4, Landon Wolf, his 4th, team's 10th.
Mirkovic going to shoot a couple more free throws. 3 for 7 on the day. Illinois shooting only 68%. You'd like to see that number get up. And they shot 76 from the line a season ago as Mirkovic can't get the first.
I'm sure that's something that they're going to stress and probably try to hammer home before they get going with their first game of the regular season. I want to say Kylan Boswell, on that last offensive possession, he was moving all over the place, both off ball and on ball. I think that was pretty instrumental in getting the Illini an open shot.
Well, the off ball movement, another emphasis for the Illini. Don't get stale. And they have the athlete to do it as Moore wants to go a little quicker. Illinois State now in a 2.5-minute scoring drought. Skunberg inside to Lieb, looking to end it, and it's going to be a foul called. Got a little push in the back. And Ivisic puts his hands up. I don't think he realizes that he can't foul out.
Not sure. He might be contesting that maybe it was Wagler that got in there and fouled him and not himself. I'm not sure what he's thinking, but whether he made a foul there or not, he's been pretty impressive down there in the post playing defense.
Lieb can't get the first, and that's going to be 4 fouls on Zvonimir. You hear the chicken nuggets, Boswell telling the crowd to go. If Lieb misses this, it's free nuggets for everybody. And he gets it to go. And the boos start to rain in for the former Illini as Jaxtis is going to check in. I think the 2 loudest times that we've heard State Farm Center today was the Zvonimir Ivisic dunk and then the fight for nuggets here in the second half as Illinois is up 66-42.
And even if the game is starting to go a little bit out of hand and that deficit starts to build, there's still opportunities for this crowd to get up and get involved. Like you said, these teams are still playing with no quit and a high motor.
Talk about no quit and high motor. There's Mirkovic, gets 2 more, and he's going to hit the free throw for an and 1.
That's once again, I mean, Mirkovic is a big guy, but he's still able to create for himself with the ball in his hands. Hit a little bit of a spinorama there and was able to finish the tough and 1 bucket.
Yeah, I concur. The body control on a guy that big, you're not supposed to be able to move like that. As Blake Fagbemi is going to check in and give Brandon Lee a little bit of a breather. And with under 10 left, we're seeing a couple more backups. The only Illini we haven't seen yet today that is suited up is A.J. Red, a reserve role. We've seen every Redbird today, and that's going to be a whistle. And it's going to stay with Illinois State.
His 3rd, team 6th.
If you're just joining us, it's been all Illinois for about the last 30 minutes. It was a close contested game for that first 7-ish minutes, and then Illinois' star power running away. But interesting to see if these two teams could play at full strength, both missing some key stars. That's going to be a jump ball. Boswell is going to send it the other way.
Nice play there from Boswell to get involved on that rebound. He's a guy that, you know, is known for being gritty. He's not afraid to dive for loose balls and fight for offensive rebounds and jump balls like he just did. With 9 minutes still remaining here in this game, I mean, with it being an exhibition, there's still things you want to look out for. You want to see how your teams are able to continue to play with one another.
Skunberg takes that rebound away and looks to go a little bit quicker. Moore over to Wolf. The inside pass to Lieb over the smaller Jaxtis. Doherty from three, it's good! Illinois State relying on that triple threat of Jack Doherty. It's been paying off for him and only him.
Yeah, and you can't really give a guy like that open of a shot. Great pass there to find him.
Wagler answers!
And just like that, it seems every time that the Redbirds have started to pick up a little momentum and get things going for themselves, the Fighting Illini are able to answer right away.
And after that Wagler three.
Very good program with a great head coach. And Coach Underwood said that while it might not be exactly like a exhibition game in front of a full stadium, that is still going to be a great opportunity for his guys.
Doherty hits his fifth three of the day. He's shooting over 40% from range. Yeah, Florida, the reigning national champions. Like to be a fly on that wall. Watch those two teams go at it. It's going to be another foul called here on Wolf, the redshirt senior.
Foul on Illinois State number 4, Landon Wolf, his 5th. A note, fans, 14.
Davis checks in as Jason Jaxtis is going to stay in the game as well with Wagler, Boswell, and in fact, Bemias, Doherty, Moore, Wolf, Lieb, and Skunberg are on the court for the Redbirds. As this game starting to get a little bit out of hand, 7:39 left, but still both teams fighting, looking to get a couple different looks in. Because you can't always rely on everybody to be healthy during the season, Cooper.
Yeah, I mean, this is invaluable experience, really. It means a lot more than just going up against your starters and your reserves in practice. It means a lot, especially at the start of the season. Any time that you can get to go up against another team, I think is really important.
And you know what's funny is we talk about all the freshmen. Coach Underwood said on Saturday that it was a couple of his freshmen's first time in the State Farm Center for their practice here on the court. Keaton Wagler, because there was construction going on during the summer, he was never able to come in here. So he's only in this arena for the second time ever. And he's got 9 points to his name as Moore hits his first free throw.
Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have guessed that this is Wagler's second time stepping into the building. Seems like any nerves that he might have had, he's been able to silence them and keep them under control.
Moore can't get his second. And the 6 foot Fagbemi pulls it down as Boswell's going to run point. Over to Jaxtis. Lieb playing a little conservative on him. Wagler back to Jaxtis. Over to Boswell. Good ball movement here. They're going to call foul. It's going the other way.
Seemed like Jaxtis stuck his arm out a little bit too far on that screen. Has to pay for it as the ball is going the other way, like you said, Andrew.
And he's going to check in, so the Big Z's coming onto the court for the Fighting Illini for this home stretch. Moore running the point. We haven't seen Tyreek Coleman since he left the game with that ankle injury. He is sitting on the bench, though. Moore using the big body of Lieb to get around his defender. Skunberg over to Lieb. The teardrop rattles on out, and it's going the other way.
Pretty good opportunity there for Lieb. I like the way that he was able to go up and flip it to the side, trying to compensate for a big guy in Big Z guarding him.
That one just kisses the rim. But Illinois able to pull an offensive rebound in. That's their 13th of the day, and that's going to be an offensive foul. And while the Redbirds defense has had their hands full, they've been able to force those mistakes out of Illinois. That one's going to be on Ivasic.
And throughout this whole game, it seems like we've had a lot of those screens or picks that you know, just aren't quite in regulation. It's an unforced error that really turns things around for your offense.
Landon Moore still running the point. He's got the ball right now. Oh, good pass inside to Lieb, who can't quite hold on. He's out of bounds, though.
Out of bounds, Illinois ball.
Moore is somebody that brings a lot of size and strength to this lineup, experience. A hometown kid from Bloomington, Illinois. Spent last season at Butler. Didn't have the role he quite wanted there, so decided to move back on home. And Coach Pedon's really happy to have him.
Yeah, he played in every game for Butler, but only started in 3 of them and was only able to get enough touches to average 3 points per game. He's a physical guy, he's an aggressive guy, and it really seems like he's going to be able to carve out a big role for himself.
Back over to Ivisic, taking another 3 off the rim, and that guy we're just talking about, Moore, pulls in the rebound. Ivisic has shot 10 different three-pointers today. He's made 3 of them. That's going to be a kick ball. Wagler just stick his foot out to kind of give himself a break as Coleman's back in the game.
Yeah, it's good to see Tyree Coleman seemingly looks like he's all right. Whatever injury concerns there may have been seem to be pushed to the side, so happy to see that.
He's got 4 points today, 3 rebounds, and no assists in 22 minutes of action. He's got the rock right now. Over to Claybo. That can't go. And they're calling another whistle, so in these last couple minutes being drawn out a little bit, the foul's really starting to set in. Maybe the announcement that there are no foul outs wasn't the best choice there. As we'll take one more look at it. And you see Wagler, it's Doherty there, so they're gonna call that almost every single time.
Jack Doherty at the line. Shooting.
We were touching on both teams' upcoming schedules a little bit earlier. I think one thing to note for the Redbirds, Coach Pedon told us that he was trying so hard to try and get a Big Ten matchup scheduled, and he was very pleased with the fact that they were able to get a regular season game against USC.
Doherty with a chance for Nuggets. And he makes it and silences the State Farm Center crowd. You know, one thing that's really interesting about Doherty, shoots it at a great 48% from 3, but last year from the free throw line, only 54%. Part of that is he doesn't drive in a lot, he doesn't take a lot of fouls. But with someone as elite of a shooter as he is from distance, you'd think that translate over to the free throw line. As Lee puts up a 3 of his own and gets it to go.
Nice shot there from Lee. Buries the first 3-pointer he's taken here in an Illini uniform.
Moore still out there for the Redbirds with Wagler all over him. Claybo to Allen. Bounces it to himself, rejected. That's going to be goaltending.
He almost got there.
Sometimes it's going to be hard to stop when you're 7-2. Let's take one more look at it. What do you see here, Cooper?
Yeah, it looks like that ball was definitely coming down on a downward trajectory, but like you said, if you're 7-2 and you can see that ball really close to where you know you can go up and get it, I'm sure it's hard to resist, but standing at 5'8", I don't relate much.
It's only the second mistake he's made today. As Lee gets it to go and 1.
What a take right there from Brandon Lee. He's really coming alive in these past couple of possessions, hitting that 3 and now going up for a tough and 1 layup. And he's fired up right there, right in front of our cameraman down there.
Almost took him out. You can see why he was one of the top scorers in the state of New Jersey. He's got 11 today, and he's going to shoot his 7th free throw of the contest.
And you mentioned how he was known in the state of New Jersey. He was known nationally as well, the number 15 shooting guard in the country out of his class coming in.
Averaged 22 a night in high school. He's at 12 now as Illinois extends their lead. And it's another foul. This one's going to be on Lee.
Foul on Illinois number 1, Brandon Lee, his 3rd.
He's going to have a discussion with one of the officiating crew. We had DJ Karstison today, Jeffrey Anderson, and Earl Walton. And they've called a lot of fouls. There's 20 in this half, but outside of that, nothing too much. Only 1 technical assessed to Zvonimir Ivisic, who held on a little too long, as Claybo's going to shoot 2 from the charity stripe. Here we go again, Cooper. Nuggets.
This is another one you give
I'm not sure if this
points.
crowd can take another heartbreaker.
Nuggets.
Oh no.
As it lays right in, and the home fans can't get their Nuggets. As Claybo plays heartbreaker. AJ Red at the bench about to check in. Another offensive foul, this one on Zvonimir. He picks up foul number 6. So if he was in the NBA, he would have fouled out as well. And AJ Red is now in the game. And you can hear how loud this fan base gets. Red, a senior from Chicago, Illinois, started off as a student manager, walked on to the team, and has been on this roster as a reserve role player for the last couple of seasons.
And it's certainly a really cool story for Red. Has emerged into a bit of a fan favorite, but he had a pretty good high school career playing at St. Ignatius in Chicago. So more than capable ball player for sure.
Moore gets called for the travel there, so it's going to go with Illinois. Red actually interned with Larry Geese, who gave a $100 million donation to the Illinois Athletic Department this summer. So not only is he a good basketball player, he's even better in the classroom. And you know, fans love him here. By himself, Jaxtis with authority.
That was a great cut right there by Jaxtis, and even better from Zvonimir Ivicic, who was able to find him. Or excuse me, Mirkovic.
Claybo silences the crowd with a 3.
Claybo has done a really good job here in the second half, taking what the defense is giving him. If he needs to drive in and try and draw a foul, he will. But if you leave him open, he's more than capable of drilling an open 3.
Brandon Lee dancing around and gets the teardrop to go.
But some dueling freshmen here between Claybo and Lee.
Coleman with the ball, over to Moore. Back out to Allen as Erickson's going to have a lot of freshmen on the court right now for the Redbirds, just getting experience and minutes for the Missouri Valley Conference team. Backing down Red. Good defense, and Mirkovic holds on. Mirkovic, a 3 of his own. He's going to join the Fighting Illini, keeping the press on. Redbirds have 4 freshmen in. As Blake Fagbemi checks in for the Fighting Illini. Jaxtis going to be called for the kickball. 6'10", 210, another person that's put on a lot of weight this offseason. Add him with Hummerkow Boswell, who was already a unit before, but seems to just be getting stronger. It's demonstrated by his drives into the lane. 3 ball way off from Coleman, but it's going to stick with Illinois State.
I think reps like that for a freshman like Coleman are still important, even if they're not falling like it didn't right there. It's still important for him to get some real game shots up.
He's at the helm right now, holds on to it. Gets it up to Claybo. He's got to get a shot off soon. With Red on him, another air ball, and Jake Davis with the board. Fagbemi's going to run point guard right now, the young freshman. I feel like we're saying that quite a bit. Freshman, freshman, freshman. As the youth has really hit the floor here at State Farm Center. Oh, nifty move there by Coleman. He just can't finish. Claybo rattles out. Jaxtis grabs the rebound and takes a foul.
Got a little bit roughed up down there. I think with a guy like Jaxtis, who obviously was still able to be around the Illini last season, for him to finally let that learning and experience in practice and mentorship from older guys, let it translate out here on the floor in a game, I think that's pretty important.
He's going to shoot his first couple free throws of the game today. He's got 2 points after a teardropper went from her a couple minutes ago. Can't get the first to go. In his senior season at Yorkville, he had 16 points a game, 9 rebounds to his name. And he's looking for his 3rd point of today. And he gets it. As we hit the 2-minute warning here, Illinois State still looking to move with some pace as Lee's going to be playing some tenacious defense on Coleman.
And Coleman's got a lot of minutes here tonight. He started the game as kind of the point guard running the offense, and he's still doing it here with only just under 2 minutes remaining in the game.
Yeah, he's played 26. Redbirds offense, it's been hard to come by today. They're 0 for their last 5, haven't scored in 2 minutes. Meanwhile, Illinois hitting another gear with their backups. They're 5 for 5, and they have a 6-0 run. Coleman looking to put a stop to that right now. It's his first free throw attempts of the day, and he's going to make the first. Coach Underwood told us this morning he wanted his defense to be assertive with size, and that's been the case today.
Yeah, it certainly has. And when you're going up against a team like the Redbirds, too, you have some inches, you have some pounds on them. It's important for them to stand tall down there. And it really did seem like defense is going to be a pretty big emphasis for this team this year.
It looked like Lee tried to get a pass over to Jackson. That might have brought the house down. Instead, it ricochets off the backboard as Coleman hits the deck. A.J. Red fighting for the ball. It's taken by Erickson, and it turns into 2 points for Illinois State.
A little bit of a miscue there, but got to admire the Redbird offense there for sticking with it and converting.
Fagbemi looking for his couple points there. It's tapped in by Jaxtis.
And then the Illini come back and stay with the possession once again. That's a good job following up right there with the tip shot from Jaxtis.
Illinois State still running their offense inside to Coleman. Good kick out. Clabo gets around Red. Jaxtis meets him at the rim, and a good move by Clabo, showing why he was Mr. Basketball in the state of North Dakota just a year ago.
That was a great finish right there from Clabo. Probably the most highlight-worthy play we've seen from him all day. That was impressive.
Lee, the trigger man. Sizing up Erickson's going to take it himself. Falling, got it to go. Are you kidding me? That guy can finish at the rim, falling away, falling into our cameraman. What can't he do?
This second half has been very, very impressive of Brandon Lee. He's a guy that has had a lot of hype start to build up for him entering this season. It'll be interesting to see how his role will kind of emerge when the Illini get all of their players back in action.
He's got 17. He's the second leading scorer here for Fighting Illini, only behind David Mirkovic. As there's 30 seconds left here in what has been all Illinois. Moore driving in, out to Coleman, looking for a 3-ball of his own. He gets it to go. And Coleman continues on his strong second half. And 20 seconds left, Illinois fans, you can start to feel it. A pretty successful exhibition game for both, as Underwood's going to tell Lee